Hey guys, welcome in. I'm Taffany. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to take our weekly garden walk. And remember, our garden walks are to take a look at the things that have made a significant change. It's not so much to look at the entire garden and everything in it. We do those in a garden tour, but we just want to see the things that are changing as spring, has hit and things are coming to life. And there's some beautiful color combinations in the garden right now that I want to share with you. So, and we'll just recap what I've done, over the last few days as well. So let's just kind of start, here at this, long walkway bed. I just have to show you the snapdragons and the society garlic. It just looks so pretty, but I'm going to start at the beginning of this walkway bed and we're just going to take a walk along it so you can see it. And the snapdragons, oh, the colors are so rich and I just love it. So let me turn the camera around and let's get started. All right. Starting here, we did the pots earlier this week and I took grasses out of the urns near the vegetable garden, and some of those grasses are still here. The roots are being kept wet so that they don't die out on me. This pot here is where I put the lime tree. I don't know if it made it, but we'll see. This is one of the lantanas from the pot, which is looking really good. And over here, I have grasses in here and in here, and they're doing great. And the big pots are going to have fruit trees. And I'm going to put some kind of floral arrangement in this smaller pot, something with nice color. And before we do the walkway, look at the echinacea. It's got blooms and it's ready to go. These are the snapdragons I took out of the pot that I haven't done anything with yet. Yes, I know I shouldn't do that, but ignore. But that echinacea looks so pretty. But let's get back to where we're going to start. So we're walking this walkway and you can see I got some of the weeds up. I need to finish, but the salvias, if you remember, they were just tiny about 2 weeks ago, week and a half. They're much bigger. This one has already got some blooms, a spire getting ready to open up into blooms. We've got the blooms on the onions still going. And yes, the onions are edible. They are like chives. So you would want to just kind of cut up the leaves, put it in your food. And look at the Gerber daisy. That is so pretty. Let's just take such a close look at that. That is just so beautiful. Almost like a sunflower. And we've got our pink and white here. And there's a little bud in there getting ready to open. The grasses are perking up over here. There's still some yellow on them, but they're perking up. But this section right here. Look at the snapdragons. Look at that rich color. And on top of that, the society garlic is blooming back here. I have two kinds. I have one that has solid green leaves. As you can see, there's one there. There's one there. And then I have one that has variegated leaves. And the variegated leaves do not really have a bloom on it. There's a little pink I see in there, but it doesn't have any flowers, but the green ones do. And look at that color combination with that purplish lavender color and the red snapdragons. This is just such a beautiful collection, and I can't wait to see what the irises are going to look like. That is what those spiky plants are. They are iris, so we'll see what they look like when they bloom. And then as we come back here, we've got the Gara, the pincushion flower, and so on. So we've still got color back here. So that looks good. So in the courtyard garden, right off the bat, this longevity spinach that I told you from the beginning when I planted it was struggling, it's definitely fading away, so I'm going to have to buy just a couple more. We moved lilies from that spot there. Let me get my shadow out of the way. We moved lilies from there. I moved one here. I've got one right here that I'm going to find somewhere to rehab it. And then we moved a lily from here as well. And we moved, we divided this one. We didn't pull it out of the ground. We just dug some of the parts of the lily that popped up just a little bit away from the main plant. And that allowed us to get enough lilies to take and put in the front garden. We planted the honeysuckle right here along the trellis. And then the other thing we did, which was off camera, is if you remember there was a rock there. I'm going to put some flowers in this little combination here, and I need one more of the sedums to seal that up and make it make sense. But these are starting to come together. This is oregano, and it's going to make an arch. I'm going to have a flower in the middle. I want to put a bird feeder on a post back, not a bird feeder, but a birdhouse on a post back here, and in front of it, a low-growing shrub. We've got the basil, the African basil, that is thickened up and is starting to open up with blooms. It's so pretty, and it is going to be filled with bees. You'll also notice the grasses. Tika keeps chewing on my grasses, but it is coming along. The purple fountain grass, they are coming back very nicely. As you can see, that one and this one. So that rock that I moved from here, I have to figure out where I'm going to put it. I just yesterday evening trimmed up. As you can see, my pile is still there. I have to toss it. I trimmed up this Mexican heather, which is coming back right there. The scavola is blooming. And this scavola I took from the back of it. You can see the scavolas going on there. But I took from the back of that scavola. And if you remember, I made this planter right here where I took some sedum and some scavola. The scavola kind of went through, transplant shock, as you would expect. But as you can see, it now has some little leaves under there and some more that are even smaller. You can barely see that are coming. So it will fill out and bloom. And this is going to be a combination of sedum and scavola. All right, guys. It's looking good here. The roses are coming along very nicely. These are pink knockout roses, and there are even a couple of little buds on it. See that? And same for this one. This one is a lot, fuller, but it's smaller. I love it. And the snapdragons are looking good. We've got Rebecca coming up there. We've got a salvia right here that I pruned. I pulled some oregano from here, and I can see that I obviously didn't get all the roots. So there's an oregano coming there, so I'll probably move that somewhere else. This salvia that was transplanted right here is looking good. It is a native salvia with a lavender purplish kind of color. It's very pretty. The other not Mexican heather, but African basil, also taller, thicker with blooms. So it's looking good. The rosemary is still doing good. This oregano needs to be trimmed up, but the herbs and things over here are growing well with the sedums in the front. This is, I was testing out how this rock, here's the rock that was in front of the oregano. I was testing it and this bigger one to see which would work best, because I can't grow anything in this spot because the pressure from the water from the sprinkler is so hard that when it hits flowers along just this little section, it just mows them down. The same with the back part here. So I decided if I can't plant there, maybe I can use a rock as an architectural structure and to kind of provide a block from the water so that I can grow here without my flowers being mowed down. So this indention is where the big rock was, and I showed you where that rock was. So I've switched them out, trying. Well, I got help, of course, with the bigger rock. And I think I'm going to go with the bigger rock there and fill this in to where I can actually plant, and I'll find another place for that rock. But the Eleanor Tabor Indian Hawthorn is in bloom, and it is putting on a beautiful show. I absolutely love it. And the mum that was stuck back there, that was transplanted from the courtyard garden, doing fabulous. It's getting bigger. And an update on the boxwoods, Winter Gem boxwoods. They are making it. These two right here are looking good. Look at this section of the garden. And ignore the weeds for right now. I know I have to get those. But look at how beautiful that looks. The color combinations, the lime greens, the burgundies. Oh my goodness. And then the sedums are blooming. This is just a really spectacular show. I'll get a little closer. Look at that. And as we come along the back, we removed more lantana from the urns, from that display with the grasses. It was grasses and lantana. And I haven't watered this morning. This one is struggling, and I may have to replace it. I don't know. I've even thought about putting the rock, the flatter rock here for a rock interest right in here. But there's a lantana. It's small, but it's doing good. And there as well. And then here are the other 3 Winter Gem boxwoods, which are doing fabulous. And here are the urns that we emptied out this week and divided up the grasses and lantanas. And look at the show of snapdragons in the vegetable garden. This yellow is gorgeous. Look at that. Here's the pink in there. Beautiful. The dianthus. And just stepping back, look at that show of snapdragons from the pocket beds. Adding just that added touch of color that's needed. The marigolds here are starting to really spread and get big. We still haven't done the seeds, but we'll get to it. We harvested a lot of lettuce. I shared some with neighbors and everything. We've got tomatoes in bloom on multiples of these. I've got a ton of mushrooms growing up in this back bed, and I don't know why. I don't know if, I don't remember when I filled it last year, the soil underneath, if some of it was mushroom compost or not. But these little seedlings that were maybe an inch tall, maybe 2 inches, you see how beautifully they're growing now? And these are from last year. Something's eating this one. But we're gonna see how that goes. But those are the snapdragons. Yes, look at the beautiful color. I love it. So this week we planted cucumber here and here. This one is a cucumber Parisian. And this one is salad bush. They're shorter growing cucumbers, so, you know, we'll see how they work. This is okra. This is jambalaya okra. Our bell peppers are growing well, and this one here is just, you see, we've got a bell pepper right there. It's got a bunch of flowers on it. We've got a bell pepper right there as well. And we've got a leafy vegetable. It grows like a, it grows upward like a vine, but it isn't a vegetable. Our habaneros are doing good. The blueberry bed has been fertilized and prepped. The seeds are planted back here. We have collards on one side, 5 rows. Collards on the other side, 5 rows. And down the center, we have cilantro, which will act as a companion planting. And we've got the empty spots in between the onions, which is where marigolds are going to go. Here's the other little blueberry over here. Marigolds will go around that, as well as this one. All of the in-ground beds will have marigolds around it. And that's the same for this. Once this bed is done, marigolds will go around it, and we'll do some more mustards and stuff, or whatever other vegetable. This blueberry is doing great. And let's take a look at my favorite bed right now from the vegetable garden. This bed is fabulous. It's beautiful. I love that color combination. And as we come into the bedroom garden, all the seedlings from the zinnias are getting bigger. So I'm almost at the point of where I'm going to start transplanting them. I almost forgot the angelonias. Look how much they've grown. They're coming back really well. For those there. And these here, which are doing even better. They get more water, so I think that they're getting bigger faster. But as I come into the bedroom garden, look at how the rose looks after it's been pruned. It's so full and thick, and the buds are opening. It's beautiful. Same for that one. Our columnar ligustrums are doing good along the fence. Our hibiscus are coming back. The Fizzy Mizzy Spirea is coming back, and I really need to work on this bed as far as weeds, and the grass is creeping into it, so I need to trim that up so you can see the edging better. The roses over here are so pretty and vibrant in color. Very pretty, very vibrant. I'm loving it. So is that one. And the Parsons juniper, it needs some water. It is looking pretty thirsty. You can tell the difference in the color from that one to these. And the other show, the dianthus. Look at how these dianthus look along this border. They are so pretty. They are at the height of their blooms, and I love it. Let's step back and give you, if I can, a full view. And then, of course, the orange tree. Blooms over here. Ton of them. There were blooms over here. They kind of are gone now, and there were some blooms over here as well. So let's hope our oranges come. And the Barbados cherry, I think it's a goner. And what was coming back, the new growth, has, I think, somewhat been zapped from the frost that just came. And now to this corner, guys. Tell me this is not fabulous. Look at those white roses. They're supposed to grow about 2 feet tall. And they have shot up. Looks really good. The ones right at the sprinkler look so good. The ones further away are smaller, and they've got these black spots. So we'll have to figure that out and work on that. This gardenia has really grown. And I've got my hose out for watering, so we'll ignore that. But look at the color on these snapdragons, and look how tall they've gotten. And we've got one that's not happy, but all the rest look really good. And then we've emptied out this bed, and we'll talk about that in another video. But the lantana is already blooming, and I haven't even fertilized anything yet. I'm still slow poking around at pulling weeds, as you can see. And this Gardenia radicans is just, these gardenias just seem like they really struggle. Now, this is an Indian hawthorn. It's not an Eleanor Tabor, but it is an Indian hawthorn, and it has never bloomed for me. It looks healthy. It's growing well, but no blooms, and I don't know why. I'm going to have to study and see what's going on with it. The grasses that were transplanted that we dug up from the courtyard garden and put here, you can see they've got new growth coming, so they are doing great. They're doing great. And that brings us back to the front here. And one other thing that I did forget to point out, I'm going to head to the courtyard garden again so we can give it an update on our Blue Point junipers. They look good. I like that structure in here. Look at that. And of course, our beds back here with the white sun patiens. They look so good. The newer sun patiens are starting to grow in size. That's the two smaller ones over there. So that is what these look like. Does that not look good? And this white really adds a beautiful pop of color. Stepping back, you can see that. I love it. Okay, so before we go, guys, I want to take a look and see what that big rock is going to look like here, just to get an idea. I think it would look good. I would have to move one of the lantana over, possibly here. But I think it would look good. So before we go, let me grab my gloves and let me move that stone and move that lantana and see what it's going to look like. I think it would, instead of just being all plants and blooms, it would add some kind of structure that you can see when you come in or come out the back door. So it may work, it may not. Let's give it a shot and see. All right, guys, so first I'm going to pull back to give you a full view of the bed from the back side. And the lantana is not full grown yet. And again, I have this lantana right here. It is not the same as the other lantana. This one grows much bigger than that one. Well, of course, they were in a pot, so they could grow bigger. But that has a much bigger spread, it's supposed to, than these. But imagine the lantana grown and full of color. And there's two over here, one here, one here, and its growth kind of going up to the rock. I need to move the rock over just a little bit. And then imagine that lantana right there with its growth going up to the rock as well. And then the smaller one, when it's full, kind of sitting behind the winter gem, which will stand taller over it. So imagine the 4 lantanas filling in that front in some nice fresh mulch, all the weeds gone. Just envision all of that, and this rock there for a little bit of structure. I think that it can look, I think it's going to look good. Not that it can, I think it's going to. And it's a way to add interest without everything having to be flowers. And I try to be careful. You will see there's a lot of little vinca seedlings growing. So I'm going to let those vinca seedlings grow. And I just may use those in the front garden where we transplanted the lilies, and we have the Mexican heather along the front. So yeah, that's it, guys. You know, guys, as I just mentioned, which I forgot to mention earlier, I brought it up briefly, but the lilies that we took from the back courtyard garden, I took it to the front garden, and I'll stick a clip in so you can see what we did. That was something else we did this week. So those lilies will match the other side of our foundation bed. And in between the lilies and the Mexican heather, any kind of plantings can go. And like I said, those seedlings there for the vinca could go up there. Some of the seedlings from the zinnias that are growing back there can go up there. So we've got some choices without having to spend money. Hopefully they'll keep growing and do good, and I can, you know, dig them up and transplant them, which is what I did last year as well. So anyway, guys, that is it for all that we did this week. That's a recap, and that's a look at what has changed in the garden, and it is looking so good. And I think this rock is going to make sense once the lantana grows. Sometimes it's hard to envision, you know, things when it's not fully grown, but once that lantana has grown, I think you'll see having kind of that break and that solid structure. So everything is not, like I said, all plants, because we've got quite a bit going on here. It's very beautiful, but it's still quite a bit different colors and shades and textures and variegations. So that will kind of stop some of that and give us a solid structure to look at. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. I want to thank you for spending time with me in the garden, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.